You can be incredibly loving and incredibly firm at the exact same time. We're about to look at some real-world examples of exactly what to say to your kids in the heat of the moment. Let's be completely honest for a second. If you have kids in your house, how many times today have you said the word no, only to find yourself completely ignored, negotiated down, or cleaned out of patience? Maybe it's the bedtime routine that somehow takes 2 hours, or the constant battle over screen time that always ends in a meltdown. If you are feeling chronically exhausted, you aren't a bad parent. You are just trapped in the negotiation loop. If you're new here, welcome to Little Actions. I'm Dr. Odi, and this is your safe space for honest conversations about child health, mental well-being, and specific support for Black and ethnic minority families. Today, we are moving past the yelling and the endless repeating of yourself. We're talking about how to establish firm, healthy boundaries for your children in a way that actually makes them feel safe and keeps you sane. If you're ready to reclaim your peace of mind without resorting to constant power struggles, just stick around. Now let's look at section 1, the rationale. Here is the first shift we need to make. Children don't actually want to run the house. In fact, when kids don't have clear boundaries, it makes them feel incredibly anxious. Imagine driving a car across a massive suspension bridge at night with no guardrails. You'll be terrified, right? Boundaries are like the guardrails that let your kids know exactly where the edge is so they can play and grow safely. But building these guardrails doesn't happen during a massive blowout argument. It happens in the quiet, daily moments. Change happens when you stack your little actions. And it's the small, consistent limits you hold every single day that build respect and structure. And you know, the big trap we fall into as caregivers is setting a boundary, getting tired when they push back, and then moving the goalposts. When you do that, you aren't teaching flexibility. You're teaching them that if they push hard enough, the boundary will break. Now let's move to section 2. We'll be talking about the 3 golden rules of child boundaries. To make your boundaries stick, they need to follow 3 simple rules. Number 1, make it clear and concrete. Kids are literal. If you say be good or clean up, that's too vague. Instead, say all the blocks need to go back into this red bin before we turn on the TV. Number 2, connect the boundary to a natural consequence. A boundary without a consequence is just a suggestion. And the consequence shouldn't be an angry punishment. It should be the logical result of their choice. If they refuse to put on their shoes, the consequence is that the trip to the park gets shorter because we lost the park time. Number 3, acknowledge the feeling but hold the line. You can be incredibly loving and incredibly firm at the exact same time. It sounds like this. I know you are angry that the screen time is over. It's okay to feel mad, but the tablet is still going away. We're about to look at some real-world examples of exactly what to say to your kids in the heat of the moment. But if what we've talked about so far, protecting your peace and protecting their mental health, is hitting home for you, please take a brief second to hit the like button. It tells the algorithm that this content matters, and it helps other parents and caregivers find this safe place. And if you haven't yet, Subscribe to the channel so you never miss these weekly parenting strategies. All right, let's look at those boundary scripts you can start using today. Section 3, the parent-child script. The hardest part is knowing what to say in the heat of the moment when your patience is wearing thin. Let's look at a few real-world examples you can start with today. Notice how these scripts shift the focus away from yelling and towards clear, actionable choices. Let's look at scenario 1, the bedtime delay tactics. The trap we often fall into is, go to bed right now, or I'm taking away your toys tomorrow. Now, the clear boundary script to follow is, it's time for sleep. You can choose to walk the stairs yourself, or I can carry you. You decide. That is if it's a younger child. Now, scenario 2, the toy store meltdown. The trap we often fall in is, fine, just pick one little thing or one little toy so we can leave. Now, the clear boundary script to follow is, today we are not buying more toys. You can be sad about it, but crying won't change my answer. Now, another scenario, scenario 3, the screen time meltdown. That is meltdown when it's time to turn off the screen. The trap we fall into is, 5 more minutes, I mean it this time. Okay, seriously, turn off the screen, I'm throwing your iPad away. The clear boundary script to follow is, screen time is over for you today. I know it's hard to turn off your favorite show, and it's okay to feel upset about it. You can press the power button yourself, or I can do it for you. What is your choice? Now let's notice that the secret here is transition. Instead of just stopping them, stack a small action right before. Give them a visual countdown, like a physical timer, not just you shouting, it's 2 minutes now. So the boundary doesn't feel like a sudden attack on them. Whilst you're doing that, keep your voice low and slow when you're holding the boundary. When kids raise their energy and emotion, our job isn't to meet them there. Our job is to draw them down to our calm. Now, section 4, surviving the Extinction Burst. Here's a warning from the parenting trenches. When you start holding firm boundaries, things will often get worse before they get better. Yes. In psychology, this is called an extinction burst. When a child realizes the old ways of pushing your buttons aren't working anymore, they will push harder and turn up the volume to see if you can break your resolve. Don't panic. This pushback is actually a proof that your new boundary is working. They are testing the guardrails to see if they are sturdy. Hold the line. Once they realize the boundary is solid, the meltdown will decrease and the cooperation will increase. You are trading short-term exhaustion for long-term peace. Setting boundaries for your kids isn't about being mean or overly strict. It's an act of love. It gives them a predictable world and it gives you your sanity back. Start small today. Pick just one daily routine. Stick to your rule and stack that little action. If this gave you a little reassurance or a new tool for your parenting kids today, hit that like button. It tells the algorithm to push this video out to other exhausted parents who need to hear this message. Now I know what some of you are thinking. This sounds great, but my kid is only 14 months. Will this actually work? Or my 5-year-old is a literal lawyer who tries to negotiate everything. Don't worry, I've got you covered in my next video. In my very next video, we are breaking this down by age. I'm going to show you exactly how to adjust these actions for babies, toddlers, and preschoolers so you know exactly what to do at every stage. See you in the next.